Hello, everybody. Good Saturday night. How are you? It's great to have you with us. How's everybody doing this Saturday, May 9th, 2020? It is a great Saturday night, and I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are from all around the world. Let us know where you are. I'm going to set this up so we can see the comments because we've been getting some really cool comments, and I'm going to show those comments too. Yeah, so we're going to show the comments as we go along here. All right, that's cool. We see Mary Ann Kelly. Fantastic. Good to see you, Mary Ann. Thanks for being with us as well. And Sharon DeMaria, happy Saturday and friends. Sharon Beth Lieberman Wallace is here. Hey, Sharon, it's good to see you. So we've got Sharon and Mary Ann. And you had some snow in Suffern, New York. You know, actually around here, Richard Skipper, the incredibly talented and amazing Richard Skipper is here. Hey, Richard, it's great to have you with us as well. Good evening. As you can see, hey, it's Saturday night here at Gym Masters Live, and we've got the disco ball going. We've got the candles going for you. And you know what? Back by popular demand, last night, my sidekick was the one and only George Burns, the authentic replica doll that came out on his 100th birthday that I have, that was given to me by my cousin Barbara. My Aunt Lillian had it. We debuted him last night. What do you think? Should I keep him next to me as my sidekick? There he is on the pedestal. It's the authentic George Burns doll. So many people commented about this last night. They fell in love with George Burns being my sidekick. You can see him right here at the top of his head, kind of like the Ed McMahon, that maybe I should just keep him here as a good luck guide, right? You know, as a fellow host. And he's a comedian, of course. He was beloved. And of course, here's something else that everybody loved last night. We did a retro night last night. The authentic replica hand-painted I Dream a Genie bottle that I showed everybody last night. Everybody really fell in love with this and like, Jim, we love that genie bottle. I tell you, it weighs a ton. So maybe as part of our set, I will leave Jeannie and George together. Now, you two don't do anything crazy, but I'll leave them here. We have been celebrating a retro week, kicking off the very first week of Gym Masters Live here. Thank you so very much, everybody. The outpouring of love and support and comments and sharing of the videos and everything have been absolutely incredible. We're working on a new open, so we just tested it tonight. How do you like the theme song that was carefully crafted for our episodes? And I love it. It was really, really good. I was listening to a lot of different cuts, and that is custom for our show. We're going to be working on some moving animation as well, but we were sort of testing the open there a little bit, and we're going to change it up probably a little bit as well. But hey, we see Priscilla, Lynn, snazzy jacket. Yeah, I appreciate that. Greetings from Street Level 6 and Priscilla Lynn from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and Martha. Oliver Swartz is here. Yes, keep the George Burns. Okay, George is terrific. I will keep him as my sidekick. Sharon Beth Lieberman Wallace. Let's see. Recently read a book. He wrote about his wife. Please keep George Burns around. All right, George, you're it. Ken is here. Hey, Ken. And Isigari is here. Hola, hola. She is amazing. She's on my Instagram at Gym Masters TV. She's on my Facebook at Gym Masters TV. Richard Skipper, let's see. It's good to see you too, Richard. I am so glad to have you here. This is cool stuff, isn't it? So we're going to continue there. It's, of course, we got the disco ball going, right? So it's Saturday night. We're all glitzy here. Oh, we've got texts coming in. I tell you, it goes crazy. Hey, I want to, now I have a lot of things here I'm going to show you tonight. We're keeping that retro theme. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the very first week of Gym Masters Live. This is what I do for a living, not this at the home studio, but I'm a television host, radio host, actor, journalist, voiceover artist, narrator, writer, producer, stage host, motivational speaker, author, you name it, and all in the entertainment and news and media field. And I love this work. I host a lifestyle travel TV series. I host daily shows on Close-Up Radio and Close-Up Television. I've been with PBS for years, public television, love public television. I have over here, usually I have it to the left of me, but there's so many things I have to show you tonight. As always, we like to kick off the show. I say, grab your favorite beverage and join me. Let's chat and have some fun. So far this week, if everybody's been keeping track, and I think Ken has been keeping track, we've had we had Shock Top Belgian white beer that we toasted. We also had, let's see, what else? Amaretto. We had some amaretto, which was awesome. We also had a Riesling, and now we have, as we toast to you and you and you and you and you and you, some Pinot Grigio we have here. So I toast to you this evening on a Saturday night. That is very good. That is very, very tasty. Remember years ago when you used to watch TV shows, they didn't have anything real in the glass. They really couldn't. It would usually be iced tea or lemonade or colored water as well. And also, remember on the TV shows too, they can never show the real brand name of a product. It would always be sort of crossed out. Like if it was Ritz crackers, you'd only see the R. Or if it was a detergent, they would change the name to Acme or something basic. Let's see. My sister Lori's here. Mom is here as well. Mom, of course, checking. You know, no matter how many years time goes on, Mom still wants to know what's in the glass. Mom, it's just a little Pinot Grigio. That's all. She's like, and now she's going to see, you know what she's going to say? You don't need that. Have some lemonade instead. Well, if I could get to Florida on a plane, all the planes are grounded. I would come see you. I'd be there for Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day weekend. But, you know, I could have a beer in my hand at a social gathering. And if my mother's there, she'll go, you really need that? I said, it's just one. It's just, we're social. It's a gathering. Love to Mom. It's Mother's Day. I've got a special episode tomorrow. I've been mentioning this, 10 a.m. Eastern. And that's the time that everybody picked. Earlier in the week, I said, hey, what's a good time? And everybody said, 10 works. 10 is good. We're going to do a special brunch with Jim right here. But I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it over there in the dining room area. And it's going to be cool. We've got all this food and everything. It's going to be really, really nice. Let's see. James F. Taylor Jr., good evening. And his mom, your mother as well. To all the mothers out there. Martha says good evening as well. Yeah, my sister Lori says that's exactly what she said. You don't need that. My mother with the Pinot Grigio in the glass. Don't worry. We'll have some hot cocoa later. It was very windy here. The plants were blowing around. Ken says he needs some of Mom's cooking. I know we are overdue for that. Although on Mother's Day weekend, we wouldn't have her cook. But then again, all the restaurants are closed. So Sharon Beth Lieberman Wallace says, you can call me Sharon Beth. You got it, Sharon Beth. You can call me Jim. You can call me Jimmy. You can call me James. Just don't call me late for supper. Pinot outranks. Mom, Sharon Beth says that my Pinot outranks her raspberry iced tea. Richard Skipper, Carol Channing's favorite drink. Oh, wow. Very nice. With a guard. G. Martha Oliver Swartz, James F. Taylor. Don't forget his sister, Lori, too. Good to see you guys. So how's everybody doing? There's a lot of people watching right now. Ken and everybody. And again, if you're just joining us for the first time, we've been doing this for a week now. And the first two episodes, I was on location. I was actually going to do something on location today, but it's been so windy. I think the camera would have just flown out of my hands. But on Sunday, Monday, we did some outdoor on location stuff, really cool places. And then my sister's birthday show we did. And then we did a retro show where I pulled out all the Matchbox cars and the Twister and the Connect 4 and the Kaleidoscope. And all of you were coming up with all these retro toys that you remember. And then we had a show where we talked about some of our favorite movies and TV shows, all nostalgic. Last night, we had George Burns debuting here. We welcome George Burns joining us as well. Thanks to everybody. Let's see. Hi to Lori. Happy belated birthday. James F. Taylor Jr. says to my sister Lori, happy birthday. He didn't get a chance to comment the other day because he was playing on his broadcast just before mine. We're sort of tag teams, 6 p.m. him, 7 p.m. me, which is great. boy, do I have a lot of cool things to show you. And I hope my friend Jeff Friedman is watching. Jeff Friedman had worked for public television for years, and I've been affiliated with public television for many years as well. But he is also a technology buff. He loves old nostalgic things. And I've got a lot of cool things to show you guys tonight. But first, as you know, we start the show with the toast. So that's the Pinot Grigio. And then I rip this out, this cool thing, and I go, it's time for some lights, camera, and action. There you go. Hey, we try to make this fun because we're living in real tough times right now. It's unusual. I understand that, you know, the times are a little different. The fact that you're here and that I'm here and we have our loved ones with us, or at least we can pick up the phone and check in on them, which is a thing I do advise, is amazing. It's a blessing. So, you know, we take a moment before we get into the show just to thank again all the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store workers, the postal workers, the bankers, as far as bank tellers, people that are keeping the banks going, as well as also the delivery people and, you know, the people that come to your door with food, and just everybody. The people, I have folks that work in, they work in homeless shelters, and what they've had to do. One is Columbus House. They're amazing. They're in Connecticut. And what they've had to do to move all of the people from one place to another because of the virus has been unbelievable. The charities too. The charities have really been having a very tough time because donations are down, and just events and fundraisers. There's a couple of fundraisers that I usually annually MC and host that couldn't happen back in March and April because of the fact that this happened with the pandemic. So bless everybody watching around the world. We appreciate all of you being here on the show. We've got some cool things to show you too. We're going a little retro, as I mentioned. Let me know how you're doing, what you've been doing today, what your plans are for Mother's Day weekend, and also where you are watching from. We've got a lot of people watching from a whole host of different places. And let's see if we can get some of the comments to show here. We've got, oh, there you go. Look at that. All right. You can call me Sharon Beth. There they are. And there's Ken. You need some of Mom's cooking, and Richard and Martha and James and Sis. Yeah, everybody's here. That's great. That's awesome. So good to have everybody here on the show with us. And this is fun. This is cool. I love all this. So we got all this going on here. So how is everybody doing? Did you have a good day today? Some folks are joining us now. A lot of you said you like the 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So everybody on the West Coast, we welcome you too, and Central and Mountain, because it's sort of, you know, in between dinner time, which is 5, 6, 6:30, and maybe 8 o'clock when you start your evening of maybe movie watching and Jiffy popcorn popping. So George is here. We've got Jimmy Genie. I want to show you some cool things. Let me start with this, because again, if you remember, we are doing sort of like a retro. We're going back in time a little bit. We need some levity. We need some lighthearted feelings and vibes. So here we go. Now, if my buddy Jeff Friedman is watching, he's going to go nuts. He probably has one of these in his collection. This was my father's. And this is really, really cool. Now, I love cameras and you know, equipment and everything, working in television and radio as I do. So I was digging through, and I've been pulling out all kinds of boxes and things to show you all this cool stuff on Jim Masters Live. Again, we need smiles. We need some levity. We're going to talk about some deep topics as we go along. And next week, great guests joining us next week on Jim Masters Live at Jim Masters TV, and YouTube Live as well at Jim Masters TV. So feel free to like and subscribe, share all of this. We've got some cool things. I'm taking some of my television and radio background, and I'm implementing some of it here while we're all together on Facebook and YouTube. So this goes way back, and this is really cool. And I was digging through some of the boxes that have, you know, a lot of cool things in them. And take a look at this. If you want, and this thing weighs a ton. If you want to take some pictures today, you know how easy it is to take the pictures on your cell phone, take the pictures maybe with a nice digital light digital camera, right? Well, take a look at this. This is amazing. This weighs a ton. I think I need a forklift for this. Look at this camera. Is this not cool? Look at this. Look at this thing. This is an actual Polaroid camera. This goes back to the 60s. And that thing on top is the actual flash. That is the flash. Don't you just love this? Isn't this cool? Take a look at this. This is amazing. Look at this thing. This thing, literally, I have to be very careful. It weighs a ton. That's the back with all the instructions, and the back opens. You press this, the back opens, and you load the film in the back. And then, of course, that's the button for the flash. But take a look at this guy. I want to bring it in closer so you can really see it. I know the light is really bright. This is an actual camera, and it's huge. And this is in our family archives. See some more comments coming in, so I want to make sure I can see those fabulous comments that are coming in. Wow. Yeah. Sharon Demaria says, oh my God, that's huge. Martha says, that's pretty cool. James F. Taylor says, my mom popped by yesterday with her Detroit Tiger mask, and we talked out in the yard. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Karen, my uncle had one of those. Karen Ayani from Pittsburgh, wonderful Pittsburgh, is with us tonight. So look at that thing. I know the light is really not doing it justice, but isn't that cool? So we dug this out of the archives. I've been thinking of all these creative things because I don't want this show to be just the same thing, a talking head and blah, blah, blah. I want it to be fun, and it's interactive because I respond to everything I see going on. Ken says, awesome. There it is. This thing is a monster. And, and every once in a while, I'll just look at it and play with it and just, think about, wow, look at that. They call it the actual Polaroid 900 electric eye land camera. It sure is. It's amazing, isn't it? This is cool. So again, we're doing Retro Week here as we kick off our first week of Gym Masters Live. It's so awesome. I really look forward to doing this. Again, I do this for a living, but there's something about doing this where you guys are right there in your living rooms or your condos, your apartments, wherever you are, all over the country, all over the world. And continuing that retro theme, this I saw pointed at me, as did my family for years. And this has a lot of nostalgia, and I love this too. And let me wind it up a little bit. Actually, it's pretty good. It's wound already. This is another camera that some of you may remember, or maybe you've seen it over the years. This is another Family Masters Family Archive. And I think I got this love of cameras and capturing time and communication and all of that through my dad, Jim, because he always had cameras. He was always taking pictures. My first cassette recorder he got for me. I used to walk around the house and I would record everything. I was like this little reporter. And my sister and I used to do plays in the garage with all the neighborhood kids. We used to do plays in the bedroom, and the bed would be the stage, and we'd be on the other side of the bed, and our parents and friends would be in chairs on the other side of the bed, and we'd have a rope go across with a curtain and something, and my mother would be like, you're using my good curtains for this? Sharon Beth Lieberman Wallace, or Sharon Beth. Well, you know that I'm now in a nursing home. I do know that, Sharon Beth. We get a chance to chat often. We've been in lockdown since March 9th. I haven't seen my son or his wife since March 2nd. So that's pretty hard. I understand. If they have Facebook or YouTube, feel free to have them chime in, and I'd love to, any messages, send their way. That is hard that we're not getting a chance to see our family, especially with Mother's Day, the moms, the sisters, the grandmothers, the aunts, the people in our life. We're blessed ourselves with a loving mother, but some people, maybe they didn't have their mom, so there's somebody else in their life who replaced that role in their life. It could have been a sister, a big sister. It could have been an aunt, a grandmother, a dear family friend who, joined in and rose to the occasion. So we bless all the moms and grandmoms and all the women out there who, again, the mother's love is something that's irreplaceable. Absolutely. So This is really cool. And again, if Jeff is watching, he'll love this. So watch it either live or probably when this is archived. Take a look at this thing. Anybody remember these? Now, this is a Kodak. This is a Kodak. And it is an 8mm camera. Look at this thing. Bring it closer for you. And if I press this button, so the film would go in and you'd wind this like that. Wind it till it's tight. So that means the film is spooled up. And so many hours of family memories were captured on this. This was given to me as well. This was my parents. My dad was the one who used this. And then after this, was taken and shot, Disney World, wherever we were, family gatherings, birthdays, graduations, weddings. Then my father would always have to thread the film and get the the screen set up. Mom would pop the Jiffy Pop, and sometimes you'd hear Dad saying, "The hell is that?" Sometimes the film would break, or he'd have to splice it on the spot, and the lights would have to go on, and we'd have to talk amongst ourselves because the film didn't necessarily thread correctly, and it busted, and that was a tough. We've got it easy now compared to the way it used to be. Anyway, if you're just joining us, you see a guy standing here with his head chopped off. Here's the little sound you may remember. So all you had to do, and there's a big light that goes on top too for flash, but hear that sound? Yeah, there's the mic there. There you go. That sound, when you were holding it, you would stop it by going like that. You'd start it by going like that. This was a Kodak. And then the projector that we used was Bell & Howell, of course. But see, if I look through here, I can see all of you, and you will be an 8mm on film. This thing was cool. So we had this, and this took a lot. This captured this thing. It still works. You hear it grinding there. And again, it's a Kodak. Really, really cool. And that goes back, I tell you, a few years. And that was really, really cool. And then, all the technology we have now. Probably a lot of you remember your very first camera. Happy Mother's Day, Sharon, Ken says. Good to see everybody tonight. Where is everybody tuning in from? Again, we're having a retro show. There is our disco ball. We got George Burns. Next week, don't go anywhere. We've got an incredible array of guests and lots of cool things coming up next week. And again, just to remind you, I will be here Sunday. I tell you, these hours go by so incredibly fast. I don't know about for you, because I'll watch these back because I critique, I do this for a living. So I critique, the light placement and me and the whole thing. And I think a lot of creative people tend to do that. And when I watch them and other people watch them and they tell me, like, my God, that didn't feel like an hour. It felt like you just did this for 20 minutes. It's a lot of fun. Very first camera in college was this one, Canon. And this was a really cool camera because one of the classes that was an elective in college in New York that I had to take was photography, and I fell in love with it. And this was a really cool camera, really, really nice. And it doesn't work anymore. I would really have to bring this Canon to a repair place who does it. But I used to love it. I mean, with the focus, it still gets it's a beautiful, beautiful shot. You'd put the 35mm film in there, and then you just snap away. And it was really, really cool. It does need to be repaired. We took it to Bermuda on a family excursion, and we were trying to be creative, and we took some shots in the water, not necessarily waterproof like cameras are, a lot of them today. And a little sand got in there, and so you can't really take the pictures with it now. But this was the very first professional camera that I had, your host here, Jim Masters, that led up to a lot of what I'm doing today in television and radio. So the very first Canon camera. So that was cool. Wanted to share that with you. Oh, let me throw something else in here too. You still remember, my sister remembers that camera. James F. Taylor says he's like Cher, doesn't want to see or hear himself. Oh, that's tough. Barbara Streisand too. Barbara Streisand. There's a great public television special with Streisand. She, a lot of people have stage fright, and she was somebody that always dealt with stage fright. Have you guys ever been on stage? Have you guys ever had to do public speaking? They say, believe it or not, I don't know. people I've interviewed on radio, some experts have said to me that the thing that people fear the most is public speaking. They actually fear that more than death. I don't know. Talk to my sister; she'll tell you. I think death ranks high. It's the one I'll do the public speaking, whoever I have to. If you have to throw me a script, we'll do it that way. Of course, this is still out today, but considering we're doing this retro theme, I didn't have time to make a fluffer nutter. However, Ready Whip. How many people out there took the Ready Whip when they were kids and opened up the lid? Sometimes when mom didn't know, and you just took it and you went, shh. And then maybe she comes around the corner and she sees your face filled with whipped cream and she's like, huh? She'll tell you the story, my mother, when I was, I don't remember if it was at my mother's house or it was my Aunt Gertie's house and Uncle Ray's house, where I was always like to figure things out and check things out. And there was some sort of a powder puff thing on the bureau. And I think a lot of people, Sharon used to do that. She used to take the Ready Whip. Used to, Sharon, or still do? Because sometimes I still do here and there. And so did Karen Iani from Pittsburgh. Yes. Martha Oliver Swartz, she performed. She's done public speaking. Her knees would shake. Well, once you keep doing it, then you get better at it, of course. So I think we were at my aunt's house, or maybe it was my parents' bedroom, and there was this big round powder puff, and I think I'm 5 years old, and I go in, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It creates some sort of like a fog effect and a smoke effect, and I'm taking I guess it's the pad or the puff or whatever that goes on your face, and it's white powder, and I'm puffing it, and wow, that's cool. It creates this sort of like fog and smoky. Oh, and it smells nice too. And it was like this expensive thing that I was just, and then my mother came in the room. I think my Aunt Gertie was with her, possibly, because they had remembered the story and do remind me of it multiple times. I was covered in white. And so was the bureau, and so was the hardwood floor. But, it was cool. So has anybody ever done anything like that as a kid? Have you ever gone in and touched something and you're like, oh boy, it's going to be an experience after you do that. Hey, here's something else. This was given to me. Now, this is a cool gem. Again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Gym Masters Live. This show is evolving. We're turning it into some really cool stuff. We've done on location. I was going to say shoots, as if this is actually, with a television crew and all that. But we did on location segments. And then we have had retro nights. So I figured we got the disco ball. We got everything going here. And it's Saturday night. I'd play some music for you. I don't know, Saturday Night Fever or something, but you got to look into the copyright part of that. So we'll just pretend. However, I'm going to sing happy birthday for Minerva Santiago. She calls me Coastal Chico, and I call her City Girl. She lives in New York City, and she's been following me all the time on Facebook. I think ever since I joined Facebook in 2009, and on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter at Gym Masters TV. And so because I'm always, I was always traveling for work, in my TV career, and always going on, to see family and vacations and everything and posting pictures, she always said that she calls me Coastal Chico because I live near the coast. I love the coast. And when we go to Florida, I'm always showing the beautiful shots of Florida. She says, you are Coastal Chico. So if Minerva is watching, later on, I will sing her happy birthday because today's her birthday. If anybody has a birthday, if anybody has a celebration, you can send me a message on Facebook. Just write in the messages, or YouTube, or at gymmasterstv@gmail.com. And I'll be very happy to wish all of you a happy birthday or anniversary or whatever it may be. I'll do a shout out. I've given a few people shout outs and they've been loving it as well. And Sharon, LOL. Hey, here's something really cool. Look at this. This is a radio. Now, this thing here, this is a company called Stewart Warner. And this is an actual radio. This really goes back. I don't know how far back this goes, But this was given to me. This is actually a radio. Look at this here. Stuart Warner. Isn't that amazing? There's the dial. You turn for your station. There's the big speaker as well. Isn't that cool? This is an actual radio that actually works. This goes, I don't know if this goes back to the 50s, maybe the 40s. This was a gift, actually. We're talking retro. So I was really digging through the archives to see some cool things to show you that are really retro. Red room from The Shining. Retro. Try to say that word 5 times fast. Retro. Good thing we're not really live on the air. So this thing here is really cool. This was given to me by a phenomenal gentleman who was in the radio broadcasting business for some almost 50 years. His name is Larry Drago, and he worked for the same iHeart radio station I hosted and produced a popular long-running talk show on. It was almost like Home Shopping Network in a way. It was really cool. It was called the Home Shopper Show, and it was an interactive show, and I hosted and produced it for about 18 years. And on our 15-year anniversary of the show on iHeartRadio, Larry Drago, the legendary broadcaster, presented me with a gift. And it was the gift of this fantastic, nostalgic, archival radio. I mean, look at the condition this thing is in. I'm trying to bring it up there so you can really see it. Some people might have had this in their kitchens and their living rooms. Some of you who might be watching Stuart Warner Radio. And of course, it's got all the information on the back, the cord, and this thing actually works. And this is what you would move to get the station of your choice, whatever station you wanted to listen to, which more than likely was going to be an AM station back there, not FM quite yet. Also, I wanted to show you something else as we continue the retro theme. What are some cool things? David William Smith. He knows because he worked at the same station. Good to see you. You thought it was him. You are right. It was from Larry Drago, David. David is a dear friend, and he worked at the radio station at iHeartRadio for years. I always thought he built the station. He worked for so many years, and then he went on to public television, and then he went on to a wonderful career and wrapped up retirement at ESPN. And he did a job that I did, which is not exactly the easiest. And then I won't say it on the air, David, but I remember the story you told me when there was this. I guess there was somebody who sponsored the weather position, the weather forecast for like 100 years. And then the salesperson came in and they wanted their order placed so that commercial would run. And they wanted the legendary advertiser bumped out. He worked in the traffic department, scheduling all the on-air programming, the commercials and everything. And I did that in television as well. And it's not the easiest of jobs, but it's a solid job. So I think the GM had come in. Well, the salesperson didn't like the answer, which was, hey, the logs for the day and for the weekend are closed. It's a holiday. We're getting ready to go. And he went to the GM, and the GM basically told the traffic department to just take that person, that legendary weather sponsor, out and put the new account in. And the phrase that he used, I won't say on social media, but it did start with the letter F, the sponsor. So I always remember that story, David, because I could sympathize with you. So we're talking retro. Again, I had Matchbox cars out a couple of nights ago, Twister, Connect Ford. We're going to have a whole new theme next week of different shows. This is something really cool too. Now, this is near and dear to my heart. And again, I've been really digging through the archives of some amazing things that we've collected. This, my dad gave me, and you see this little gold plaque here. This is an actual authentic baseball bat. And this is a Louisville Slugger. And this is an actual authentic commemorative bat. And you can see it says Louisville Slugger on there. It's got the serial number, the whole thing. This was a gift from my dad to me. I used to play, I was in bowling on the bowling league, and I used to play baseball in school, and still love baseball. You take me to a baseball game, hot dogs, and love it. And this bat, and just having a lot of memories as I'm actually looking at it, This is the official commemorative Hank Aaron bat. It was the Braves versus the Dodgers, and this is when Hank Aaron hit 715 home runs. And it was this was a bat that my father passed down to me. The Braves versus the Dodgers. It was April 8th. It was back in 1974. And the pitcher was Al Downing. And this is the actual bat. And I think if we can bring it in there, you can see. And it was sponsored by Magnavox. Remember Magnavox televisions? Magnavox? This is really cool. Magnavox. And you've got Henry Aaron's signature there. It says commemorative bat. Then it's got the serial number and all that on there. 715. Maybe if you turn it that way, you can see it. Really, really cool. This was really, really something extra special, this bat. And have kept this, really, really means a lot. It really is something that just means so much. And James Taylor, dinner, lots coming up. Thanks. I enjoyed your show as well. It was my pleasure. So what has everybody got planned for the weekend? And also, as we go along with the show, and I got a few more things to show you here and to tell you about. Oh, I wanted to show you this. It's behind me here. And also, for those who are just joining us, we must do another toast. Bottom of the hour toast here. With a little Pinot Grigio. I toast to you and you and you and you and you. And thank you very much for joining us as we continue on Jim Masters Live. I try to jam pack the show. We're going to have guests too. I'll show you this. I wasn't able to set it up now. This is really cool. This is actually something you can get from public television now. But this was given to me as a gift by a longtime colleague at public television who just retired. Her name was Pat Hennig, and a wonderful person. And there's a box that it comes in and everything, but I want to take it out. Maybe on a future show, I'll just show you, because you have to have hot water with you. And we've got the Pinot Grigio instead, because it's Saturday night with the disco ball and everything. Mr. Rogers, he's been in the news lately, of course, just because people have been missing Fred Rogers, which Karen knows, of course, was filmed in Pittsburgh at WQED TV, PBS. This is a really cool mug. You can actually get this, I believe, now from public television. But this was a gift that was given to me, and I love it. What happens is you take a hot beverage, whether it's coffee or tea, just hot water, whatever it may be, and his sweater goes from that jacket to one of his cardigans. It actually turns into one of his cardigans. Kids would love this too. It's the Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers mug with all kinds of incredible sayings that Fred Rogers, of course, was known for. All the quotes about life, about friendship, about relationships, And when I'm looking at one of them, they even got King Friday on there too. See him there? And Fred Rogers did all the voice of all those puppets on that show, which was amazing. Yes, Karen, a legend. I did have an opportunity to meet him several years back. Christopher Joseph, great to have you with us. Our Midwestern friend joining us. And he is also a singer and performer as well. And he's very talented. He's always commenting and sharing wonderful comments on my Facebook pages. And I really appreciate that. He's been with us for a while now. That's terrific. I appreciate that. Ken, we could all use some Mr. Rogers now. Absolutely. And someday you'll be a grown-up too. Some of his quotes were absolutely amazing. And Karen knows, and salute day to Sharon, and cheers to Sharon Beth and Sharon DeMaria. Ken says, very cool with all these. Again, I've been really digging through the archives here for you. So many great things we have here. We picked this up. Oh, I still have something back there to show you too. This was really cool. We were at a store pre-pandemic when stores were open. And a lot of times we'd like to get in the car. People know, my family will tell you, when you get in the car with Jim, sometimes you never know where you end up. We just go on a day trip that becomes a day-long trip, a night trip. I mean, there was a time where we drove through Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, through Boston, through Providence, Rhode Island, like a full circle in one day, and stopped off at all kinds of little places. If you guys ever done that, you just get in the car. You don't plan where you're going. You almost don't even tell the people in the car that are with you where you're going, because sometimes you don't even know where you're going. You're just going to go, especially in the fall with the foliage. You just get in the car, you just go, and you have one of the most incredible times together because it isn't all structured. It isn't all pre-planned. It isn't all booked that at 1 o'clock we have to be there and 4 o'clock. We did that once. We went on a cruise to Bermuda when I hosted a radio show out in New London, Connecticut. I was the host of the show. And a travel agency had approached me and they said, Jim, we want to do a show cruise with gym masters and listeners. And it was really cool. And we want to have you go to Bermuda with your listeners and folks that come in. So we went to Bermuda. My folks went and everybody, and it was really, really cool. And it was really amazing because during that time, we had found the first time we went, it was awesome because we just did what we wanted to do. After we got off the ship and, midnight buffets, oh my God. But once we docked in Bermuda, we sort of did our own thing and we went to the places, the Crystal Caves and all the places we wanted to go, Hamilton and everywhere else. But then we went another time and we pre-arranged everything. Like the minute we got off the cruise ship, we ended up on a glass bottom boat. It was really cool. They were throwing the bread in the water and all the fish were coming and it was glass bottom. You could see the beautiful crystal water. But after being on a cruise ship for several days, and then the first thing you do when you literally get off is to go onto a glass bottom boat. I mean, that wasn't, we went on a catamaran, we did snorkeling. It was really cool. But sometimes it's really good to just get in the car and just go, put some music on and just, you go together because it's something you're experiencing as a group, as a couple, as a family together. And I love to do that. So people know me, especially the family, that if you get in the car with Jim, you don't know if we're going to be coming back in a half hour because we stop off at little places and we have some, hot apple cider and some, apple crunch that a woman comes out of a little bakery and says, hi, I'm Frida and I just baked these. Would you like these? That kind of experience. Let's see, Mary and Kelly, thanks so much for all the effort you put into these shows and having so many interesting historic and nostalgic items. Although you make it look easy, I appreciate all your efforts. So fun to be really in the present. Thank you very much. And Issy, Gary, thank you very much. And Christopher Joseph, the New Love Express, our Toledo band in Toledo, Ohio. I haven't been to Toledo yet, Christopher. I've been to Cleveland. I've been to Columbus. A couple other places, Toledo and Cincinnati, I haven't been to yet. Those other two were for television shoots. Martha Oliver Swartz says, ooh, never been there. Sounds like fun. Bermuda. Yeah, really beautiful. Sharon Beth says, I just saw the movie. Won't You Be My Neighbor? Yep, that was really good. Rented it for one day. You cried at the end of the movie. You remember watching Mr. Rogers as well when you babysat for the family that had 6 kids. Yeah, Isigari says, ¿Cómo estás, Jim? Salute, friend. Gracias. Thank you very much, Issy. I appreciate it. Kathleen Walker, I knew you'd be there. Good to see you, Kathleen. How's your mom? How are you doing in sort of this quarantine situation? You're very welcome, Issy. I appreciate you being here as well, seeing all these great comments. You can find me 7 p.m. nightly, 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific right here at Gym Masters TV, also streaming on YouTube TV as well, or Gym Masters TV at YouTube. I wanted to show you this, and hello to everybody. We were going on sort of like one of those jaunts, you take the car and you go wherever. And I believe this I got in upstate New York. We took a trip to upstate New York. Issy, thank you very much. And Kathleen, good to see you as well. And this was really cool. I found this and it was amazing. We have it on. Last night, I took this star off one of the upstairs bedroom walls and showed you because I think you're all rock stars. Tonight, I took another thing off the wall. I tell you, I should call it, you know what I should really call this show? You know what I'm going to say. Off the wall. Just in terms of, I've been taking things out of boxes. I've been going through things and then taking pictures and, decorative items off the walls here at the home studio. We found this in a music shop. No, it wasn't a music shop. It was actually sort of like a It was like one of those antique stores. And this was a custom made wood framed item. I've never seen one of these, but I love music. I'm a music person and also an on air broadcaster and television radio. And this really covers a lot of it too. As far as music, I studied violin in school. We're doing guitar right now. But isn't this a cool? It's a painting, but it's on canvas, and I'll stand up so I can really show it appropriately. And I don't want I'll tilt it. So there's 4 squares, and you can see the microphone, and of course the music note, and then the actual lyrics, and then it goes up, and there's another 3 squares, record and guitar, and then the top of the guitar, and then if we go further, let me see, get this here for you, the drums, music note, and piano. Isn't this cool? This is absolutely cool. This was actually up towards Poughkeepsie. I don't remember the store, too. I wish I did. It was a while ago. But I just wanted to show you this because we're showing retro, and this is kind of retro. I mean, this is also today as well. But you got the piano, the notes, the drums. I'll try to see if I can remember the store for Ken. Ken wants to know. Issy says beautiful. Lori, my sister, says nice, very different. Issy sending smiles. Karen, love that, very cool, isn't it? Isn't this amazing? And it's all canvas. It's an actual canvas, and there was just one of them, and you got again the microphone, and that's over there, which of course I've used many years in my life. And you've got the notes, and then you've got the sheet music, the electric guitar. This looks like that is the electric in the middle. This one, probably the acoustic. There's your record, looks like a 45. And there's your piano with your music note and the drums. Perfect for some music. There's the orchestra. There's the Jim Masters Orchestra right there. Masters music. Like I always do Masters mantras. Now we've got Masters music. Just got to bring the musicians in. I'll take the guitar and maybe sing. But and my sister will join us. She sings as well. Maybe we'll get Christopher Joseph, rope him in since he's got his band, the New Love Express. But isn't this guy cool? Just another thing here that we have that I wanted to show you. And again, for those of you who are joining us, oh, this thing is cool. People have asked me, what's this behind you, Jim? This guy is amazing. This is another thing we picked up. This thing weighs a ton. It is solid. It's a brass, but it's really, really heavy. It is a saxophone. You can see it there. See the saxophone? This is all handcrafted, hand done, handmade. And of course, you've got it's on the ledge there, but really, really cool. And again, it spoke to me because again, I love music. I love instruments, especially love instrumental. If you guys are on Facebook and you love music and you like instrumental and good music, Beautiful Instrumentals and Vocals Music Group is on Facebook. And it's actually a page I founded and created. It's a group. Some of you are in it. So if you like all kinds of good music, feel free to go on that page as well. But that's what that is. And this was given as a gift as well from a television producer that I had worked with. It says action. My sister Lori says, wow. Izzy says nice. Kathleen says nice. So I want to know from everybody, did you pour that beverage of choice? Do you have a beverage with you? Water, wine, lemonade or iced tea, like mom wants us to have. Lemonade or iced tea, or maybe a glass of wine. I celebrate all of you. I hope you guys are doing well. Yes, Issy, musico. Absolutely, absolutely. Can't go wrong without music. Music is beautiful. And so is conversation. Having an opportunity to be here with all of you. And again, the feedback that I've been getting. This is something that people have asked me to do for a long time. And right now I've had these moments to be able to put this all together. And we just put this together in a week, just in a week's time. And it continues to be a pleasure. I really look forward to it. It's being tweaked and it's being created sort of on the fly and on the spot. And I hope you guys are enjoying the opportunity. Oh, really? Yeah. My sister is a mother too. I mean that she has a child. Uh, she has my nephew, Dom, and hopefully he's watching too. He's a great kid, smart as a whip. He gets that passed down from his uncle and his parents and the grandparents. Lori, my sister. Oh, wait a minute. My sister is telling me that, they're having a little Captain Morgan's New Oregon and vanilla. Smile face, smile face. Okay. So with mom right there in the room, my loving, beautiful sister, Lori, tell me, when you poured that in to the glass, did mom roll her eyes for you as well, as she's all the way there in Florida and she's rolling her eyes because we have some Pinot Grigio in the glass here? Let's see if we can get these comments in here. Oh boy, this is funny. Let's see. I'm going to show. Here's Issy, some of her comments as well. And Lori and Issy as well. Very musical. And there is Minerva. Buenas noches, everyone. Good to have you with us. And my sister. Wow, everybody there. Great. Good stuff. I want to, so I want to know if my sister had the eyes rolled as well. My mom with her when she poured the Captain Morgan's in New Oregon and vanilla into the glass. Hello to everybody. New comments coming in. So I'm scrolling along here so we can see them all. All right. Yes. Yeah. So mom did roll her eyes. That's funny. A toast to everybody watching. This is Minerva Santiago's birthday today. Minerva, a toast to you. Get your glass and let's toast together on Jim Masters Live this Saturday night. It is May 9th, 2020. Jim Masters here in his glitzy, actually, these jackets I wear at MGM. One of my freelance projects is a host for MGM, which has been closed during the pandemic. So these I usually wear, in the professional environment, hosting all kinds of entertainment events on stage and contests and all kinds of things for MGM. And some of these are those jackets. So I figured for all of you, I would share the jackets with you. Celebrating your birthday, Minerva. And Martha says, this is so fun. Lori says, typo, not New Oregon. I was like, what is New Oregon? Orange and vanilla. That sounds good. Ken says, happy birthday. Christine Fairwood says, happy birthday to Minerva. You are welcome, Minerva. Karen Ayani says, happy birthday, Minerva. Minerva is wonderful. Again, she calls me Coastal Chico because I'm always, out by the coast or by the water. You have to drag me out of the water. One time we were in Florida visiting the family and I was boogie boarding and doing all kinds of stuff. I love the ocean. The ocean is my go-to place. Grew up by the coast. And the family was getting ready to pack up and go in the car. And some rain clouds were coming. And I guess it started raining. And they're like, come on, we got to go. It's raining. And I'm like, but I'm already wet. I'm in the ocean. What does it matter that it's raining? But of course, lightning in Florida could be something else. My sister Lori, Minerva, my sister Lori in Florida wishes you a very happy birthday. So and Martha Oliver Swartz does as well. So join me in a toast and wishing Minerva Santiago a very happy birthday. I call her City Girl. She calls me Coastal Chico. Here we go. And everybody can sing at home with your beverage of choice. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Minerva. Happy birthday to you. One more time for Minerva for good luck. All right, from the Irish. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Minerva. We love you in New York City. You're very special. This is your very special day. We love you. We love you. Happy birthday, Minerva. There you go, City Girl. Sung live by Jim Masters. I have not done that often on air or otherwise. Thank you, Minerva. Glad you enjoyed that. And there will be more. People want me to sing more. I shall do that. My voice is interesting because I've been on the air for so many years. I can go very low, if I want to go really low, or I can go really high, or I can go right in the middle, whatever it takes. I'm a Libra, balance and harmony. Ken, thank you very much. You said I got pipes. Very, very nice. I appreciate that. The plumber Bill always knows that I've got pipes as well. It's very expensive now. Happy day from Isigari to Minerva. Issy, where are you from? I never asked you this question because you're on my Instagram at Jim Masters TV. I invite you to join me on Instagram, everybody. I'm at Jim Masters TV. Twitter, Jim Masters TV. Instagram, Jim Masters TV. Tried to make it easy and streamlined. Facebook, Jim Masters TV, and YouTube. Check out YouTube at Jim Masters TV and subscribe and follow. If you have channels, if you have pages, I'm very happy to follow you back. I think it's all about us being together. This has been a very enjoyable evening, Jim. Looking forward to joining you again. Karen, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I will be back 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's a special time because I'm doing brunch with Jim, a special episode of Jim Masters Live. So am I going to be in a robe? Am I going to be in pajamas? We don't know. I haven't formatted that yet. And Izzy says hello to Minerva. This has been really a real pleasure, everybody. You guys are the best. An hour went by, just under an hour, and I'll wrap it up before 8 so you can go off to do what you need to do. Maybe you're watching a Netflix series or you want to spend time with your family. But I tell you, these hours go by fast. I say salute and cheers and slancha and everything else to every single one of you. Thank you so very much, Marianne and Ken. I'm glad you think the shows are such a nice thing. You really love them. 7 p.m. Eastern every night. Tomorrow, a special time, 10 a.m. Eastern, for the Sunday Brunch Mother's Day episode. And thanks to Minerva and everybody here. Tell your friends. Let's get a lot of people watching so we can all compare notes. I love being interactive too. This is a very interactive show. I'm not going to be a talking head, just, telling you this, that, and the other thing. I want this to be very interactive. So I really appreciate you guys. This is amazing. I really love the fact that we've got this on-the-spot connection here. It's really, really a beautiful thing. For all the moms out there and grandmoms and all the moms out there, we wish you the best. And to my mother as well, a very happy Mother's Day. I'll be back tomorrow as well to continue the celebration, but just wanted to do it for all those watching right now. It's really a blessing. Life is a blessing, everybody. And the fact, this situation we've been going through globally reminds us of the importance of life and the joys that exist. Go outside and see the sunset. The blessings of life exist in front of us, and to cherish them, because life is short. Life is short. And, be kind, be empathetic, love those, and you'll be loved back. And it's really an amazing time when we get a chance to share moments like this. A lot of levity, a lot of fun, nostalgia. It's been a great retro week. Good things coming up tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. And also, we've got the fantastic episode coming up, or several episodes next week with special guests on Jim Masters Live. All right, you guys take care. It is a pleasure having you, taking a look at all these great notes here. I thank you very much for joining us, Minerva and everybody else watching Homeland. See you mañana. All right, 10 a.m. I'll be here, guys. You take care. You have a great night. And now we play our new theme music. And I'm going to scoot out, have a little more Pinot. Love you all. Good night.